everyone. This is Joe Riggio with Socially Joe. We're on episode 38, and I'm joined by my guest, Bill Simpson. I met Bill through one of the networking groups that I started up a couple months ago before COVID, and I've learned so much about him because he wears multiple hats like me. So without giving too much away, I'm going to turn it over to Bill right now. So Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me on here, Joe. I really appreciate that. I am an independent Optavia health coach. Our goal here at SIMPSON Health Coaching is to find a program that will work the best for each of our clients' individuals' needs. This is why having your own personal health coach is so important. We are helping you reach your goals by walking with you each step of your journey, and it is our passion. Having a program that is easy to follow is key to our clients' success. Busy lives that we all have, pressures of life, work, raising a family, serving our community, making podcasts all the time. Simplicity was a priority. So our meals are either ready to eat or can be prepared in minutes. We have over 60 nutritional, scientifically designed meals that are all natural. So they're not processed. They all have a expiration date on them that will assist you in your body to enter a gentle fat-burning state with high protein, probiotic cultures, and key vitamins and minerals that our bodies need each meal. Our programs have been developed by physicians, dietitians, scientists, and used to help more than 1 million clients. Our programs have been recommended for over 30 years by healthcare providers. My own doctor has been on this program, and he recommends this and gives me referrals. By eating every 2 to 3 hours, we also learn the healthy habit of preparing a healthy meal for yourself and your family. Your journey has the ability to impact your entire family to learn healthy habits for themselves. So let me tell you a little bit about why I got on this program. I usually tell people that I got to a certain weight and I couldn't lose anymore, and that's very true. But I was like at 340 pounds at one time. I was able to drop down to about 300, 290, 295, right in that range, but never could really lose any more than that. So, as I got older, it seemed like with less athletics that I was in, my weight started to escalate again. As I went through my 30s, it was all about excess. So I would go to a restaurant and look for the largest thing I could order. Not the best thing, but always the largest, it seemed like. Well, during this time, I lost my father to a massive heart attack. He was 62. He had retired at 61. And I have to say, not a day goes by that I don't think of how I would have loved him to know my child, my grandchildren, that special person that's in my life. And it's really hard for me to talk about that a little bit, but I'm going to move past it. I asked why he did not take care of himself so he could be with us. He had just retired again and missed out on so much. Well, I just turned 60 this year, and I decided that I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that to my child, my grandchildren, and I'm not going to let obesity take me away from that. So I got on this program. Actually, my ex-wife was on it for the first year, and she lost 62 pounds sitting in a cubicle. She wanted me to join on this, and it took me about a year, and then she wanted me to coach. Well, I kind of got the bug a little bit, and I said, well, I need to get on this program if I'm going to do it. So I think it was July of 19, that I got on this program. And I lost 20 pounds my first month. And then I became a coach because I was hooked at that particular point. But the biggest part about this is that I'm diabetic. I'm a type 2 diabetic. And I I went in for my physical that May of 19, and I had a 8.0 A1C. So my father, brother, and mother were all type 1s, and I was borderline. So I really didn't want to do insulin. So I went back in October of 19 to get my blood work done. And I went in there thinking, okay, well, it's probably down to low 7s now. And I went in, and in 3 months, my A1C went from an 8 to a 5.1. I got my meds cut in half. And now, this is really far exceeded everything. I've lost a total of 50 pounds, almost 55 now, and been able to keep it off for over a year, almost 18 months now. And I just want to help other people now. So now you have a beautiful family, your spouse, your children, maybe grandchildren, and I know how much you love them, but you have to think about yourself, but them as well. So, don't be like my father and succumb to this desires and demons and not think that those he would be leaving behind. But anyway, I think I can help you do that. And we have various programs.
Yeah.
So
let's go into the questions, because I know we're going a little too far. But I know you're talking a little bit about it. And let's go into it. What does a typical day consist of for anyone on this program? Like, I know you mentioned they eat a couple hours, but what would they normally want to eat? Like small little bites, large meals?
Well, typically a day would start out when they wake up. They need to eat within a half an hour of basically when they wake up. So we want to eat every 3 hours during the day. So I actually set alarms. I still have alarms going off on my phone, and but typically my body is used to now eating every 3 hours. So we do on the optimal program. It's called a 5-in-1. So we would do 5 of these meals, and they're bars, shakes, potatoes, mac and cheese, brownies, cookies, oatmeal, soups, everything. And they're very easy to make. But these are every 3 hours. So I set an alarm, and I wake up every morning and I get a text from my coach first. And it's usually an inspirational thing, a motivational thing, something to give me some support. Then I eat my first fueling, and that's what we call these. We call them fuelings. And then at 6, then I have one at 9, then I have one at 12, one at 3, and then at 5:30. Typically, what that is when I said 5-in-1, the 1 is what we call a lean and green, which is a 5 to 7 ounce piece of meat, cup and a half of vegetables, plus your healthy fats. We walk you through that too, and the size of that portion on the meat is usually predicated by how lean it is. So the leaner it is, the bigger the piece is. And we walk you through that. I post recipes every day on my my Facebook page. And then at 8 o'clock, I usually have my last one, which is typically something sweet, like a s'mores bar or a brownie or a chocolate shake, for those of you who have a sweet tooth. So that's pretty much a typical day.
Oh my God, you're making me so hungry.
We also ask that you drink, 8-ounce glasses, 64 ounces of water. But typically I try to say, okay, hey, I want you to drink half your weight in ounces of water. That is the catalyst that actually flushes the fat cells out. So we need to drink water along that. And it also helps with your hunger pains too.
Yeah, I will agree with that. So how much weight does a person typically lose on this?
Our average weight loss is 12 pounds every month in 1 month. Okay, so that's the average weight loss. Typically, men lose a little more than that. Women kind of stay pretty close to that figure. But it's really a strange thing is that we ask that when you start the program, we do measurements, and it's based on this word watch. which is waist, arms, thighs, chest, and hips. So we take measurements of those. And typically women lose more inches than they do almost pounds in a month. And so we call those non-scale victories is what we call those. But typically it's we're looking at 12 pounds.
Okay. So obviously, I'm probably answering my own question, but does one have to exercise or have to constantly exercise? And how much exercise do you have to do, like within a week or day or whatever?
Well, as I said in my intro there, my ex-wife, has lost 62 pounds sitting in a cubicle. So on our optimal 5-in-1 program, we ask that you don't do it, and we want to get you down to your weight loss goal. And then we start introducing things. So I said about the 5-in-1 program, and then we can transition down to the 4-in-2, start introducing a little more exercise. And then and the program that I'm on is called a 3-in-3, where I do 3 lean and greens every day, 3 fuelings. And I have a very rigorous exercise, but I'm also on a lot more protein, a lot more calories, and basically toning a lot of things now. So at some point we introduce exercise, but on the initial, no, we don't. We just we want to kind of limit that exercise, basically because we don't want you to kick out of the fat burn stage, and then you get hungry. So we try not to introduce a lot of exercise.
Okay, so if if a person has health issues or have to be gluten-free or a thyroid condition or a metabolic resistance, will this thing still work?
Yes, it does. We actually have programs set up for that. But the best part about this is if we do have specific needs, we have a nutrition department on staff, so we can actually get on a call and develop a program tailor fit for you, and that would deal with your diabetes. So in other words, if I was a type 1 diabetic, I would not start myself out on that 5-in-1 program. I would have to do something like a 4-2 and maybe a 2, which is like 2 snacks, because we don't want that blood sugar to drop. So we're very conscious about that. And when we first talk to a client, we actually do what is called a health assessment. And we ask those questions about allergies, what you have, things about your weight and weight loss, and to get a better idea so we can develop a program. So it's really hard for us to say, okay, hey, go look at the website, because it doesn't give you the information that you need. You actually got to talk to a coach.
Nice. So does the person have to keep buying the food indefinitely, or can they start to substitute out where they need?
Well, that's what I was just saying about the program is on the 5-in-1. Yes, you want to still keep buying the program. Okay. So that's, typically it's about 3 months. So you want to kind of keep on that 5-in-1 until you reach your goal. It depends on how much weight you want to lose, really. And then you can drop down. We transition you to a 4-in-2, and obviously you're only doing 4 of the fuelings every day, so your cost is going to go down. And then again, I'm now on the 3-in-3, so now my costs have gone down more. Does that make sense?
Yep, that does. So here's the big question, because I know you were talking about all those delicious foods that you use consistently during a day. But is the food processed properly? No,
see, it is all natural ingredients, and the reason and way you can tell that is every package has an expiration date on it. So if it's processed, it wouldn't have an